Welcome to the K&B Music Den. As always, I'm Brad. And you, sir?
I'm everybody's friend, Keith. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm a little nervous.
Are you in a good mood?
I'm in a pretty good mood. Yeah.
Okay, because we're going to talk about 3 times you were in a bad mood.
Okay.
Today, we're always so nice on this damn channel.
Yeah.
We don't bash people much.
No.
I want you to tell me, I was thinking about this the other day. I thought, man, I would love to know 3 times where you picked up an album you were excited for and were squarely let down and pissed off. Can you
I
name?
know where this. You know the one. I know where
I
this is
know the
going to.
one, and that's what inspired this concept.
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. I feel bad about this story because I love this band so much.
But that's what makes this
Um.
great.
Yeah. All right, you jerk. Um. So. Well, actually, it's funny because the band where I'm about to talk about their first 4 albums I have on vinyl, and they're right here in front of me. Um, the best known one is going to be the one I'm going to pull out here. So, folks, my beloved band Live from the '90s and
Yep.
beyond, Drawing Copper, absolute perfect masterpiece. Their first 4 albums, I am just still in awe of that run of albums that they did there in the beginning of their career. And then there was 5.
And that's why I wanted to bring this up because I know just how much you love that album.
Well, I tell you what, I was, it's a new Live album at that time in my life. The first 4 were just meant so much to me, and I was like eagerly awaiting the new one. And the boys went down the path of trying to chase a trend, and it sounded like Limp Bizkit, but it actually made a Limp Bizkit album sound good. That's how bad this album is. It's just beyond atrocious. I remember giving it to a friend of mine and saying, "You don't even have to give it back to me. I don't even want it back." Which I never do. I mean, because
Oh my god!
even just as a collector.
Yeah,
Um, but and again, I hate to say this because I'm such a huge advocate of what these guys did in their first 4 albums. But one of the reasons I wanted to get into music and try to make a go of it at music was their first couple albums. That's how much they
hmm
meant to me. But that fifth one, I mean, I will say there are select songs on albums after the fifth one that I really do enjoy. There's some good songs on Birds of Prey and
yeah,
songs from Black
yep.
Mountain and all that. But let's not talk about what's going on with them now. But yeah, that fifth one is just a pile of trash. Yeah,
I
I'm
wanted to
sorry.
bring that, hash that up. There's another one for me, and I was curious. This was a band you had gotten me into,
Okay.
and that first album was magnificent. I mean, magnificent, and that was Maroon Five.
Oh,
Do you remember how great that first album was?
still is. Yeah.
And you know what happened after that?
Uh, just it just went for the pop ring and
Oh,
they grabbed it. I mean, for what they were trying to do, they did it well, but I mean, they had such a cool
they did.
jazzy thing going on and just great songwriting. He sings
Yep.
fantastically, and then it just all went to I
Shit.
got them moves like Jagger. Which is fine for what it is, but I mean, that first album is just like on an island of its own.
It is. It really
So
is.
good. So
Yeah.
good. I'm glad
Yeah.
you mentioned. I've been listening to that album in so long. It makes me want to listen to that. It's so good.
It's such a good album. And then just dropped off the face of the earth as far as,
Songs about Jane. Yep, great album.
yep. Yep. Any other examples you could think of like that where you were just pumped for the next album and just let down?
Well, I'm glad you thought of Maroon Five for me, because you got me on the spot here. I'm thinking, oh, there has to be. I gotta bring it to the front of my mind. I know there was at least another one where I was like, oh, what happened to these guys? Um, I want to say Coldplay.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but that's not a great example only because for me, every Coldplay album has at least a few songs that I'm like, oh wow, these
Yeah.
guys have still got something. But they did. After the Viva La Vida album, things got a lot too poppy for me. But then Ghost Stories was good. So that's not the best example. It's the best one I have in the moment
In your
here.
brain right now. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're up for this, um, do you have one that you could tell the folks about that was for you? And while you tell them, I'm going to take a real quick look at my CDs because I'm sure I'll find another one.
Oh, boy, I could
Do you
think. I
have one
mean,
you could tell?
I should have thought about this knowing I was going to ask you because
Yeah,
you were going
yeah.
to ask me. I knew this was going to be a flip flop thing.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot and disappear for a moment. So have fun.
Yeah. Okay. I would say another one for me would be Train.
Oh, that's a good one.
The early, what was Drops of Jupiter, and
Yes,
some of
it's
the early
self-titled.
Train albums were fantastic. And then those later period Train albums were kind of a train wreck. No pun intended. Um, that one comes to mind. Um, Boy, offhand, that's a good question. Now, see, I'm stumping myself with this one, Keith. And he abandoned me. He knew this was going to put me on the spot and really put me in a bad spot here.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Oh,
buddy.
you found
You
one.
gave me I heard you. Nice little pun that you didn't intend there about train and a train wreck. But
Yeah.
so it's I should have thought of this sooner because it literally they just put an album out 2 days ago. This band,
Oh,
um, which wasn't bad, but I'm sure you remember the band Better Than Ezra.
and this, oh, I should have said this too because this was also in my head, but I didn't go there yet because I haven't listened to it fully. But I hated
Yeah.
everything I've heard so far. And it made me so upset because those first couple albums were so damn good.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, the first two in particular, but the first three, which so
Yeah.
funny. I actually listened to the third one like a day or two ago. Excuse me. So the first album's called Deluxe with the big
Yeah.
hit Good.
Amazing.
That whole album is great. Friction Baby, the second album, I think is even better than the first.
Might be.
And then the third, I think it's the third one called How Does Your Garden Grow?
Mhm.
And then there are good songs on subsequent albums, but
But it started leaning.
talk about going poppy and just
Oh my gosh.
some kind of cringeworthy, cheesy lyrics here and there.
This is exactly what made this conversation come to mind. As I listened to like 2 tracks, and I was like, I can't even go into the full album to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and going back to cringeworthy lyrics, I mean that's what was so disappointing too on that live album, the Five album. I mean, some of that stuff. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but he says something about go back to the studio, write a song so good, make a midget grow. And it wasn't even supposed to be like he wasn't trying to be funny. He was trying to be
yeah.
cool. It was just, and then the one song he says, talking to trying, kind of sounding tough, and he's like, I'll pick you up by your puppy scruff.
Yeah,
Remember that?
I remember that.
And then he was like talking crap on someone. It's like, yeah, you should have brought a gun to school, or you would have brought a gun to school, or something like that. I know it's a very sensitive topic.
Yeah.
And this was back in the day, but and of course he was disparaging someone for wanting or doing that, of course. But just as a lyric, I was like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, no, that was not the.
I mean,
that was not a good album.
I mean, these are the same guys that brought us, Lightning Crashes.
Yes.
And Killer of Davidson.
Oh my gosh.
And Pain Lies on the Riverside.
Yeah.
Turn My Head.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been more disappointed in my whole life.
I would say that is probably the standard for me too, as far as when the band can drop the ball and just do it wrong. And that album has always been in my head as this is how you mess up. An album like this. That was bad.
And I still feel bad saying it, but it has to be said.
It does. I think they would say it at this point, honestly.
Who knows what they would say, man? I mean, you know what's going on with them?
What a mess. What a mess.
God, I mean, I've been hesitant to do this, but maybe we should do an entire video on the rise and fall of that band, because to be that unique and amazing and just on top of the world and deservedly so, and then all the bullshit that happened leading us up to today is just I use this word intentionally and in no way lightly. It's tragic.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah. But you know what? no one's ever going to be able to take those first four albums away from
Oh,
me.
no, those first four are fantastic.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So amazing.
Yep.
So hey, yeah, this was good, Brad. I like this. Yeah,
Have to bash something once in a while.
I like. Yeah, we are too nice sometimes. I've thought about
Yeah.
that. You know.
Yep.
But I mean, it stands to reason because obviously a lot of the albums and the artists that we review were gravitated towards them because we like them.
Yeah.
So, but I think there have been times where if let's say a band we like put out something and it kind of fell flat a little bit or didn't live up to previous ones. I mean,
Hmm.
I think we have said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously the reason to do a channel like this is because we want to turn people on to music that we love and share music with people. So it makes more sense to pick stuff you like.
Yeah. No,
Um,
it's true. But it is fun to
um,
share stories of wanting to throw records out the window and
yeah, better than ever. Yeah, man, those first three albums are so great.
and then
There's
just
got to
doing.
be another. Well, well, okay. I thought of another thing here we could talk about quick. Along this topic. This might sound funny, but band Creed. Now, the first album by
Oh, the first
Uncrazy
album. Yeah, that was amazing.
is really great.
Yeah.
Dude, were you there when they played the Chameleon here in Lancaster?
No. No, I
Now, you
missed that.
remember the band Big Wreck?
Yeah,
Okay. Big Wreck opened for Creed.
that'd be a pretty good show.
And I came to see Big Wreck because I liked
Oh,
them. Creed had just maybe had that song out, My Own Prison, for like a couple weeks.
yeah.
So like they were still under the radar. And dude, say what you want about Creed and what happened down the road or what have you. First of all, that first album is fantastic.
Yeah.
And second of all, and I stood there in the Small Chameleon Club in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, when they had just started to be anything. They blew the roof off that place. I stood there and I was just like, this is going to be in arenas within a year.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
You could just tell. You could just
Yeah.
tell. And damn it if they weren't.
They went
Yeah.
pretty quick. They went pretty quick.
I mean, Scott Stapp, he had that whole crowd right in his hand.
Yeah.
And they were so loud. Oh my God, it was. But back when I could handle that shit.
Yeah.
So Creed, I think, is a good example. Now, the album was the second album called Human Clay. Was that the second one?
I'm not sure about the order of those ones, to be honest with
I
you.
think it was. That's actually, I think that's a pretty solid album too. And somewhere along the line, they got a little. Well,
See, I didn't
everybody
think they ever went too bad, honestly. I always thought they
maybe
were
just got a bad
close.
rap. Yeah.
Yeah, they got the whole mocking of his voice, the things he does.
Well,
But
I
yeah,
ain't just heard.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't just enjoy that. I mean, my friend actually knows Scott, so
Oh yeah, that's right. You said yeah.
yeah, so pretty nice guy from everything I've heard.
Oh, I'm sure he is. That's great.
Yeah.
No, they had a huge success. Well, another band that gets a lot of shit. Do you think that they deserve it? You probably know what band I'm going to say, right? What's the band that everyone shits on from modern rock?
Oh, Nickelback.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, they're the punchline. It's they're definitely the punchline. I mean, and
But
it's
do they deserve it?
no, I don't think they deserve it.
No, I don't either.
I don't know where it came from. I mean, I enjoy some of the stuff they've done.
Yeah.
Some of it's kind of corny, but
Yeah, some of it's, what I call cookie cutter,
yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely a cookie cutter. But no, it's kind of funny that they caught that. But they've sold a shit ton of records, so I'm sure they don't care.
exactly. They still pack stadiums.
Yeah.
I think where things started to get a little went a little awry for Creed in the public eye was that song "With Arms Wide Open." I think that one really kind of like for some people with Metallica when they did Nothing Else Matters, which I love, but
yeah, I did too.
some people were like, "Oh, these guys are soft now" and stuff. It's like everybody calm down.
Yeah.
But well, yeah, thanks for helping me get in touch with my bashing self. I'm gonna go, sign off here and go yell at my family for no reason. So thanks for getting all worked up. Just kidding.
There you go.
But but yeah, this was fun. So people weigh in the comments. When were you let down by a band that you love? When did you get that new album? You were so excited. You spent your hard-earned money, and you just wanted to take that compact disc and throw it down the toilet.
Yep.
Yep. Let us know. They can be fun stories, like you said. Not everything has to be roses and chocolate.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd love to see the comments. If people want to put I would love to see other bands and artists getting thrashed for shit albums, but that's just me.
Yeah, yeah. They're gonna run me out of York, Pennsylvania now after this video goes on.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what are you gonna say?
That's all right. I'm coming back to Lancaster anyway, so
Good.
So, all right, guys. Well, thanks, Brad. This was a great idea, a lot of fun, as always. And as always, Brad. And I am your friend Keith. This is KMB Music Den. Please like this video, share it on social media, subscribe to the channel, smash the bell for notifications. We will see you soon, back with more content. And thank you so much for watching. See you, Brad.
See ya.